Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard. Uh, I need to see if my volume is set. Can you hear me well? I have an issue with my microphone always reset. Let's see if this does anything. Hello. All right. Sorry about that. I think that should be better now. But anyway, we're here for the Pulitzer Project. This is episode 5. And we're going to talk about The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. I keep wanting to say Erdrich, but it's Erdrich. And this is the Pulitzer Prize winner for 2021. And again, for my Pulitzer Project, I started with the 2024 winner, and I'm working my way back. So this is the 5th book because there were 2 books that won in 2023. So each one of these books, my understanding now is that in order to win a Pulitzer, there's the necessity, the requirement, so to speak, of a very, very real to the time American historical fiction aspect. So I read books about Appalachian people. I've read a book about Jewish people in America in a certain period of time. This one is about Native Americans. It's really about reservation life. It is 1953, and we're talking about the Turtle Mountain Reservation in rural North Dakota. Now, Louise Erdrich is at least partially Native American. That this is a loose retelling, in my understanding, of stories about her grandfather. But in this one, the central aspect of the story is that, well, it's reservation life throughout, and it's a really, really cool picture of that, of what that meant in 1953, what that meant to the women of the reservation, the men of the reservation, the old folks who knew what it was, maybe pre-reservation, maybe not. Yeah, but but knew better times. But also knew probably worse times. Probably saw people, massacred, things like that. But also the young folks who were born on the reservation and know nothing but reservation life. I mean, it's a picture of um Native Americans really trying to keep traditions, and um, food, language alive, through everything, they've been put through, I guess. Uh, so that's the story throughout. But the central part of it is that the government is kind of trying to undo, the treaties, the allotments, the reservation that has been given to the Native Americans in, I don't want to say, maybe it was reparations, but in a, the treaty that has been signed, that hey, this is your land, you guys have it, it's yours, you blah blah blah. They're trying to undo that under the guise of giving the Native Americans their independence, their freedom, their whatever. And so we've got a central cast of characters that are traveling to Washington D.C. to kind of argue their point and try to preserve their reservation, because at the end of the day, in this case, freedom, independence means homelessness for some folks. So you've got that aspect, and then, like I said, throughout it's a look at, the young people are torn between, moving to the cities and or staying on the reservation. It feels like that represents a death of culture, a death of tradition, a death of ancestral things, right? Like the going to the cities, getting a factory job, paying taxes, right? And that was a focus of Demon Copperhead too about how the government wants us all to work those types of jobs where they can tax us, right? Like the fact that Appalachian folks or Native American folks could live off the land, could basically live basically I said basically a lot there, but an untaxable lifestyle. It's not, anyway. So yeah, so that's the gist. I mean, the government's coming in to maybe try to take the reservation back. And you've got the call of the cities, but the cities represents leaving everything you've known, or everything in your culture behind. There's a look at human trafficking. One of our main characters is Pixie. She wants to be called Patrice, but everybody calls her Pixie. She goes to the cities to look for her sister, who has gone to the cities with a husband, but then gone missing. I mean, she finds a house with basically chains and dog collars. They're all empty, but people have been being kept there. She eventually finds her sister Vera's baby and has to bring the baby home without her sister. And her sister has basically been trafficked, and I'm not going to go into how that plays out, but that's another thing. Another cool aspect is boxing. Like there's a boxing coach. He's a teacher, math teacher, I think. Boxing coach on the reservation, and a kind of a look at that, and how they had one really great Native American boxer and one local great white boxer, and they would often be paired up in these events and stuff like that. But one other thing that I want to point out is there are a couple Mormon missionaries, and I don't know much about being Mormon, but I didn't know the level of racism towards in Native Americans. I almost said Indians, but it's used in this book a lot. But Native Americans, I didn't realize that the racism towards them in the Book of Mormon. And it's not undertones, right? Like it's not like racial undertones. I mean, they're referred to as the Lamanites, and it's just I'm not going to go too deep into that, but that's another cool but uncool aspect of this book, that it gives you this knowledge about that I never knew that. So anyway, for me, all in all, 3.5 stars. It's middle of the road. My favorite is still Demon Copperhead. I think behind that is Trust by Hernan Diaz. This is right in the middle. The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich, and then The Netanyahus by Joshua Cohen, and then Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips. So it's right in the middle, but it's a hell of a book, and cool cover. The cover is supposed to represent the Northern Lights, the colors of the Aurora Borealis. But yeah, 3.5 stars for me. The Night Watchman, Louise Erdrich. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.